Imagine getting free access to some of the world's most advanced AI models for text, images, audio, and even video all in one place. No installation and no subscription cost. Just straight up the latest AI tech at your fingertips. The software is Google AI Studio, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour and we'll explore all the different ways you can build, prompt, and test all the latest Google models, all within your browser. This is suitable whether you're a complete beginner just learning about AI or you've had some experience developing in the field. Let's jump into this and see what it can really do. What we'll do is jump over to your browser, go and search Google AI Studio, and it should be the top one that comes up. After clicking that, you'll be prompted to sign in with a Google account. Once you do that, there's no cost or fees affiliated. So once you've signed in, you'll see this window here, which is the same as ChatGPT. If you use just normal Gemini, it's the same sort of thing. We can go in here and actually put a message through and ask it with our prompt to do something. What ChatGPT and these other ones don't have is all the settings on the side here that we can see. We can actually go in here and select any of the models that Google have released, all of their 2.5 versions, their previous 2 and 1.5, and even their Gemma versions, which are their open source model. They also have another one here, which is Learn LM, which is for kind of helping tutoring and schoolwork as well. So what we're going to do is just leave it on Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is their latest release. And then we can also see we've got a whole lot of extra customizability we can use here. Structured output, if we want it into JSON format for other use in our code, we can use that. Code execution, this allows us to upload CSV data and it can actually execute Python code on the data so there's no hallucination, and it can do graphs and formatting and all that kind of stuff, which is really, really cool. Function calling, if you've got custom APIs, any of that kind of stuff you want to call from there, you can use that. Google search and URL context. You also have the temperature and top P as well to play around with how the model actually responds to you. So that's the chat window here. You're able to go here and then upload things from your drive, record audio, YouTube videos. So it's a fully multimodal as Gemini 2.5 Pro. So you can upload video, audio, text, anything, images, and it can actually understand the context of that, which is really, really cool. There are no limits to this as well, completely for free, just on your Google account. If we come over to the left here, where you can see there's a stream one. And so this is where we can stream real time to actually talk to the Gemini model. Same thing, we've got a whole bunch of settings on the side, and we've got the different models as well. If we want to go to the latest one, we can go to the 2.5 Flash Thinking dialog. And now we've got 3 options down here. We can either directly talk to it, we can show it a webcam, or we can share our screen. So if we go talk here, for example, it will come into a real-time window, connect us in, and should be able to hear us. Hey Gemini, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Awesome. How are you going today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How about you?
And so you can go in there and chat with it. It's a little bit delayed because I chose the thinking one, so it actually thinks about its response, so there's a little bit more delay. But you can go to the 2.0 or the other 2.5 Flash one for the really fast back and forth conversation, which is pretty cool. If I go back to the stream one, the really cool use here is the share screen as well. And so I've done a video on using the share screen to take me through an exam. I show it my screen of the exam that I'm working through and I ask it questions, hey, how do I do this? Is this my answer right? And talk it through with it, which is pretty cool. Another really cool use case is actually sharing my screen on a software. If I'm starting to use, I don't know, SolidWorks or some other complicated software that I'm not sure how to use, I can share screen, start having the conversation, and it can teach me, hey, you need to press this button, go here, use this menu, all of that kind of stuff while I'm on that software, which is a really, really cool use case. Generate media, this is a really, really fun one. So this is where we can do image, audio, and even video generation. So first we'll go into Imagen, which is their latest image generation model. Currently it's only Imagen 3, but very soon Imagen 4 will come in through here as well, which is their latest one that can do text really, really well. And so we can see there's a whole bunch of example ones. On the right, we can get a whole different aspect ratios, the number of results as well, if we want multiple for that same prompt to really make sure that we get a good result. And then you can select the model here, and eventually the 4.0 model that was just announced, I think last week, will come into here. And so you can have a look at some of these ones here. It might be generating this all over again, so we'll just wait until that goes through. And that only took only a couple of seconds after I hit stop record. And so this is the output of that, which is really, really cool. really detailed, and that's a really realistic looking photo. And there's a few different examples of that based on that one prompt. So it's quite useful instead of when you're in ChatGPT and you ask it to create an image, it only brings the one back, whereas bringing four back for that same prompt kind of gives you that more chance of getting something exactly what you're looking for. So a part of the generate media, we can also do speech generation, which is the same sort of model as the real time. And so there's two different modes in here. We can do single speaker audio or multi-speaker audio. And so if we go to single speaker, let's go read a disclaimer really, really fast. You can check any of your prompts in here that you'd like and get it
Availability
to
and
do.
terms may vary. Check our website or your local store for complete details and restrictions.
So like that, for example, generated that text, which I can then download and export. And then you can change as well the different voices and tones and all of that kind of stuff as well. There are two different models there as well, which is their Flash, which is their fast model, versus their Pro, which is a bit more detailed in thinking as well. You can also do the multi-speaker audio, which is cool. So if it's a script, a back and forth conversation, a podcast even, you can generate that all in here. The other cool one here is Lyria Realtime. Lyria is their music generation model. So if we click onto this one, we'll be able to see what we can do. And so this is a prompt DJ, which is part of their Lyria model. And so you have a whole bunch of little knobs here that you can turn up and down of different styles of music, and it'll play music in the background. And you can even edit the prompts in here. So if I want it to be pop mix instead, I can have it in here. Hopefully that didn't hurt your ears too much, but it's quite cool how it doesn't just instantly switch. It actually kind of blends the music in together, although going from like dubstep and drum and bass to thrash and all that kind of stuff isn't the nicest transition. So this is a cool tool to play around with as well. Inside of Firebase Studio, they actually have this as their API, so you can use API access and generate music yourself. The last one in Generate Media is Veo, which is their video generation model. And so they currently, again, only have Veo 2 in here because Veo 3 only got announced last week, but it's only a matter of time until that kind of comes into here. And so we can do all sorts of things video generation wise, the same sort of thing. We can choose the aspect ratio, we can choose the video generation. A cool thing in here is a negative prompt. So it's pretty much as in the name, it's the reverse of the prompt. If I put in things like animals or grass or something like that, it will try its best to not have that in the output video. So what we'll do is just generate one of these example ones here, which you can actually upload an image of. And so this is an image of a little snow leopard thing here, and we want it to make it walk through the forest. And we put that in our prompt and go and generate that there. So we'll see when that comes through. And so that generated there, and we can see it's that little character walking through the forest based on that image, which is pretty cool. So the cool thing about Veo 3 as well, which is their model that got announced last week, it actually has audio generation inbuilt to the videos, and the videos are just absolutely next level. So it'd be really cool to see once that comes available in here. The last one I want to show you is the build section. And so this is the same as like a Lovable, a Cursor, a Bolt, any of those tools, where you can actually build full web applications from a single prompt using Gemini's 2.5 Pro model. So an example we'll do is we'll chuck in here, create me the dinosaur jumping game, and we'll go ahead and build that. And it'll take us to this developer environment, which will be quite familiar if you've played around with those tools I mentioned before. On the left-hand side, we've got our code assistant. This is where we can talk to Gemini 2.5 Pro. On here, we've got all the files, and we'll start to populate these. And then on the right-hand side, we can actually go inside the file and have a look what's inside, or edit it as we need. And so what it will do first is, from this prompt, pretty much set a whole lot of tasks that it needs to complete, and then basically tick them off as it goes along and creates the files, edits the files, runs, tests, and debugs. So we can see it run through now. We can see the little checklist of different files that it needs to update, and it's generating all the code in here as well. So now we're going to get a little preview for our dinosaur game, and we can go here and we can press space and jump over the different obstacles and then get a different score, and our high score tracks as well there. And so that's really, really cool to be able to generate that in 89 seconds, and it's one little small prompt. And so if I want to get it more detailed, I want better graphics, all of that kind of information, I can put that in the prompt. Or I can now go, hey, make these graphics better, actually make it a dinosaur, and continuously iterate with this project. If I want to deploy that out to a website, I can go deploy to cloud, and then it will link into your Google Cloud account, and then you can deploy that as well, which is really, really cool. So that's a brief tour of Google AI Studio, which I think is the most important tool to learn and play around with because it's completely for free and offers inbuilt text, image, video, and audio generation completely for free, and it's the latest models that are coming out. Let me know down in the comments if you have used Google AI Studio, what you've used it before, and as always, leave a like, subscribe. I post a whole lot of content around AI.